Thank you. Hello and welcome to Ticker Health, where each week we will dive into the latest trends in the health market and answer the questions that you need to know and that we need to know. It's a pleasure to welcome once again my co-host from Cluesy Clinic. Hello, Claire Dunkley. How are you?
I'm very well today, thank you.
Good to have you. What are you looking forward to talking about today?
That headaches aren't normal.
No.
No.
And people think they are.
I think they are.
They do. They sort of just go, I've got a headache, but it's not normal.
No, it's not normal.
We're going to get into that in just a moment. Ticker Health in association with our partners, Cluesy Clinic, where you come to heal. Have you got aches, pains, tried everything and nothing seems to be helping? Are you looking for a health solution that is beyond a prescription or being cut open? We do not need that. At Cluesy Clinic, they use revolutionary health technology to help you heal at the source. Their website, nice and simple, cluesy.com. My goodness, that's the most simple website I've ever seen. All right, what is trending this week for you? What have you got for us?
Well, it's just the cost. Deloitte have done a
survey report,
on the cost of headaches.
Right,
who's getting the most headaches and what is it costing both them and society, and the numbers are staggering.
Yeah. What are you
So,
seeing here? Like, what do we need to know?
well, every year that costs about 35 billion in costs to healthcare. Well, half of that's to healthcare costs. The other costs are productivity costs, with a few other straggly costs sort of thrown in. People are losing jobs because they can't work. Companies are losing productivity. Healthcare, the cost on healthcare is extraordinary. So
it's funny, we don't think about that in some ways, do we? The ongoing costs in some way. It'd be amazing if we thought like that, a bit smarter, Anyway, so one of the foundational principles you have in the clinic is that pain is just your body's way of telling you there is an issue. So tell us more about this. You mentioned that you feel like a body investigator.
Yeah.
What do you mean by that?
Well, normally in my history in healthcare, people would come with a headache and we would just give them a pill and say that'll do and send them away. And then they come back a couple of weeks, I've got another headache, and then maybe we'll do a CT scan or something like that. But what we want to know in our clinic is, why did the headache come in the first place? Like, there's a zillion reasons why somebody might get a headache. So wouldn't it be better to figure that out? And you can figure it out simply by using your hands, like where people's problems are when you're palpating and touching their bodies. It will show up as pain or inflammation or tension in a muscle or an inflamed nerve. You can pick that up with your hand. You don't need a scan.
Right.
And then we can look at that angle and therefore, hit the nail on the head at the source, so to speak, rather than hit the nail on the head with a pill that's not going to really solve the problem.
Interesting. So there are so many different reasons and ways you can get headaches, as you've just touched on there. So what are the long-term effects of having constant headaches that keep being dulled down with some of this normal way, like paracetamol, of course? How does that work?
Well, it's a funny thing with paracetamol, they actually don't know how it works.
Really?
Like in the 50 years it's been on the market, you look it up, all the research studies, and it'll say it's thought to work like this. It doesn't actually say, oh, this is the proven way that Panadol works. So that frightens me in itself.
Yes.
However,
there are different reasons as to why, so many different reasons as to why they take place. So why are some of the long-term effects of having constant headaches?
Yes, of course.
And they're dulled down by some of these other things.
The most dramatic consequence of chronic headaches is actually a brain tumour. There has been some links with some people get chronic, but that's an extreme case. Wow. But people that get chronic migraines, they might not be able to work. So, that leads to anxiety and depression. Cool. Then there's, things that we've talked on earlier programs about stress and how that impacts. Well, you can imagine having a headache all the time be quite stressful. You can't go out in the light. You can't go enjoy a party. Or maybe, you want to try to get off coffee because you drink 27 cups a day and, that's giving you a headache. So is it really worth it? And then, the long-term effects of that, it changes your personality. Pain changes you as a person, and nobody wants to hang around with somebody that's cranky.
Totally. And then, as we mentioned earlier, you get used to it in some ways, and it's just not something we want to get used to. So let's talk about what can be done. So we've got the headaches, we're learning about what can we do about it?
Well, we need to figure out why you've got it. So, most, as we saw in the stats earlier, most headache sufferers are women. So is it a hormonal imbalance? Is there something going on with the hormones that we can look at? A majority of women are on the pill. Is that really a good thing? Is that relating to headaches? Are we looking at, like, most of us are on computers all the time now, of the effects that has on your melatonin and your serotonin, which are neurotransmitters that we make, can lead to chronic headaches. So, can we put on little glasses that block the blue light? Can you put flux capacitors on your screens to change the color of your screen? Can we go outside more? Like, we're all working under fluorescent lights. Like, all of these things, like, there's got to be some things that we can do for ourselves. And I think that's the key as well. We need to take responsibility for ourselves.
Yeah.
You can't just rock up to a doctor or a health professional, physio or whatever, and say, I've got a headache, it keeps coming back, you're not fixing me.
Sure.
Well, what are you doing to fix yourself?
Good point. And also, what can the people around you, whether you work in a business, an organisation, friendship groups, what can we all do to make that just more a part of our life?
I think the key is water.
Water.
Nobody drinks enough water.
Right.
So, we all drink our coffees, but, are we all drinking our 2 litres of water every day on top of the coffee or on top of the beers we have after work? So chronic dehydration is probably up there in what we see in the clinic as a major cause of headaches.
Interesting. Let's have a look at our 5 major takeaways. We'll chuck them up on screen now, and you can just tick through these and how important they are. All yours.
As I said before, you need to find out why you've got the headache. And this doesn't have to be expensive MRIs and things like that. Just simply, just checking the body for inflammation, checking your setup at your computer desk, checking how much screen time you've got. So technology doesn't help. There's lots of companies out there at the moment that make blue blocker glasses. I have them for myself when I'm in front of the screen for more than an hour. They are amazing. Your eyes don't get tired, you don't get headaches. And as I said, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. We should be, an average person of 60 kilos should be drinking at least 2 litres of water every day. And I can tell you now, not many people do. Go out in the sun. Like, I'm blessed, I'm from Queensland, so the sun gets up at 4:30, so I can go for a walk at 5:30 and do all those things and still get to work on time.
Yeah.
But in Melbourne, sun gets up a little bit later, but you just got to prioritise your time. Companies can be a little bit flexible these days, and you go to work at 9:30 because you can walk there or spend half an hour walking around the botanical gardens if you work in the city. Just do something like that to get out in the sun without your sunglasses on early in the morning.
Yep.
And then, just see a practitioner. It doesn't have to always be a doctor, but physios can help, chiropractors can help. ANF therapy, what we do in the clinic, is the thing I've seen help 98% of the time.
Nicely done.
Long term.
Beautiful stuff. Very, very important. All of this is just allowing the time, being consistent, but the message is super important. Well done to you once again.
Thank you.
We'll talk really soon. Tika Health, of course, in association with our partners, Clusie Clinic, where you come to heal. At the Clusie Clinic, they are using revolutionary health technology to help you heal at the source. Learn more at clusie.com. Catch you soon.